All right, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining us on this emotional day for the MTA family. Today, we're gathered here to honor and pay tribute to one of our own, train operator Garrett Goebel, who was senselessly murdered 14 months ago in an arson attack on his number 2 train. Garrett died after heroically evacuating passengers who were at risk, and he took them to safety. Mr. Goebel embodied the best of the MTA, and his service and dedication will never be forgotten. We're making sure of that today as we unveil a portrait in his honor here at his home station, Flatbush Avenue, Brooklyn College. This is a representation of the portrait, which we'll all go see in a couple of minutes. I'm proud to be standing here today alongside Mr. Goebel's wife, Delilah, his mother, Vicki, MTA Interim President Sarah Feinberg, TW Local 100 President Tony Utano as well. Nothing can reverse this unthinkable tragedy that occurred last year, but we're happy to provide a space where New Yorkers can come and pay their respects to a true New York hero. The memorial to Mr. Goebel is located near the station booth by the main entrance, where it can be easily seen by the thousands of commuters who pass through each day. It's a beautiful and moving tribute that I hope will provide some solace for Mr. Goebel's family and all of those who mourn his heartbreaking loss. I'll now turn it over to New York City Interim President Sarah Feinberg.
Thank you, Pat. It's hard to believe it's been 14 months since March 27th, 2020. The height of COVID, when essential workers had never been so important to this city, and when Garrett Goebel was doing his essential service, moving healthcare workers, nurses, grocery workers through the night, moving the men and the women who carried the city on their backs for a year. Garrett showed all of us what it is to be a true hero. There's no doubt in my mind that had Garrett acted differently on that night, had he focused on saving himself versus others, we would or could have lost riders that night or other colleagues. We didn't because of his selflessness. I want to thank many of the people who are here today. I want to thank Delilah for all of her grace that she's shown over the last year. And Vicki, I would have someone else read this, but no one will be able to read it. No one can read my writing. Vicki, for her diligence and the fierceness with which she guards Garrett's legacy. Garrett's many friends and New York City Transit colleagues who have not forgotten him and who have always prioritized honoring him, including Belinda and John, who have gone above and beyond to make sure that he is honored daily. Garrett's sons, who have already shown such promise and who bring such joy to Delilah and to Vicki and to the rest of their family. I want to thank Sally Labrera and Frank Giesecke, who served with me at New York City Transit at the time of Garrett's passing. Demetrius Critchlow and David Santoro serve with me now. Tony Utano and all of his colleagues at TW Local 100 who have helped to honor Garrett. I want to thank Andrew Wilcox in my office, who has helped usher this important project over the last year. To Lou Landfair and his team at New York City Transit, who built the subway wall that you'll see downstairs and who have taken such care and love as if they were honoring a member of their own family. BK Fox, the artist of the piece, who may be here later, who is unbelievably talented, as you can see, and who devoted her passion and all of her talents to this important work. It's been a long year for us. It's hard to believe everything that we have come through to get to this day. Every day we've been grateful for Garrett and for his sacrifices, and eager for this day when we could honor him and honor his legacy. Delilah and Vicki, I hope that you all can feel how much Garrett was loved by all of us and respected by all of us. I hope you will feel it when you see the mural downstairs and when your family visits and when you see his colleagues pay tribute and pay their respects to him. We are forever indebted to him for his bravery and his actions in the face of a horrifying incident. The fact that his heroism saved others says so much about him and so much about who he was and why we were so proud to call him a colleague. And I hope it is of some comfort to all of you that we see that every day in him and honor that every day in him. But of course, nothing can ease your pain or heartache or the hole in your lives or your home or at your dinner table. But I hope that this mural shows you how much, very much we miss him and how much we honor you. And with that, I'll introduce Tony Utano, the president of Local 100. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Pat. This is a wonderful tribute to Garrett. Thousands of people will see this mural every day, ensuring that his legacy lives on. His legacy was one of bravery, heroism, selflessness, and service. Garrett made sure his riders escaped safely. He put his riders first. He saved lives that morning. Think about that. There are people walking on this earth today because Garrett saved them. TW will never forget him and what he did. We honor him today, and we honor him every day that we fight to make the transit system safer for the workers and the riders. We have gained ground, we have made progress, but the struggle continues. TW Local 100 will fight on because no one should have to worry about their safety in our stations, on our trains, or on our buses. That is our commitment. We will fight on with Garrett in mind and in our hearts. And we will always be there for his family. Thank you. I'm going to introduce Vicki, Garrett's mom.
I greet you all in the name of Jesus Christ, who's the head of my life and who's my Savior. I am so filled with gratitude right now for everybody who decided to come out, who thought it was not robbery, to spend some time here to give honor in memory of my son. I am grateful to the MTA for recognizing my son's heroic efforts to save all those lives on March 27th, 2020. Even though he could not save himself, I know that he tried and he thought he could make it to safety because he had his wife and his 2 boys that he loved so fiercely. I want to thank my neighbors for coming. I want to thank Dee's family for coming. I want to thank my church family for coming. I want to thank my cousins for coming. They're the only relatives I have here in New York now, and it meant so much to have you here. I thank all of G's friends and co-workers who loved him, who cared about him, who shared jokes and stories and broke meals with him. I thank you all for coming. He tried that morning to get to safety. He tried so hard because that was my son. He gave his best in whatever he did. I thank the workers who go to work every day to perform their duties for the safety of the passengers. None of you know this, of the workers, but I pray for you daily. I pray that you'll be covered by the blood and you'll be able to return home safely to your families. To all of you that have remained in touch with me over the past 14 painful months, I thank you. It means more to me than you know. Just a simple hello or good morning or a story that you have to tell me about G. I enjoy hearing from you so much. I want the workers to know that Mom Goebel here supports you in all of your endeavors, and I will be here for you in any way that you need me to be. My son, Garrett Matthew, our Boog, our little miracle, he was far from perfect, but he was perfect for us. He always gave his best, getting good grades in school, going all the way to graduating college on a dean's list with a Bachelor of Science. G loved family. He loved his friends. He had an easy, secure way about him. He had swag, and he was handsome, but yet humble. His friends leaned on him for guidance. He was the nucleus of our family, a caring son, a loving husband, and a dedicated daddy. He would do whatever he could for anyone. He was always there to help someone, and he was always there for his sons. He was even an organ donor, so in a way he still lives on. We miss his funny antics, and his silly jokes, and his laughter, his storytelling that went on and on, his hugs to let me know that he loved me. I no longer have my son. Delilah no longer has her husband. Noah James and Hunter Matthew no longer have their daddy. Nothing can bring him back to us, but mourning is one of the deepest expressions of love. Today, one of the ways to express our love for him, to thank him for his sacrifice so that we never forget, and to celebrate his life. G lived his life to make others smile. He gave his life so that others might live. He brought us joy through his kindness. And every breath I take, I think of my Boog, my beautiful boy. God blessed me with my perfect miracle and honored me to be his mother. And for a brief moment, a sweet miracle was mine. Boog, Mama loves you more.
Oh God, I'm not much of a talker, so. Ooh. I would like to start by thanking everyone for being here. Family and friends and complete strangers who have been so kind to us. I would also like to thank the TWU and New York City Transit for their continuous support every step during this hard year. Your support means a great deal. Today is both difficult and a special day. Difficult because I am still grieving and miss Garrett every single day. But special because I can't think of no better way to honor the life of Garrett. By this point, everyone knows how Garrett died. But today is about honoring how he lived. Garrett and I met before he came to transit. I was working at a retail store, and he was working for an armored truck company. I went after him, and the rest is history. I want people to remember for his job as a train operator, but also want them to remember Garrett as a wonderful husband, son, and father. A man who worked the night shifts, but who never missed one of Noah's events at school. Garrett was well known as the cool dad. He never missed a chance to play video games with his son and made sure never to let his son beat him. He was very competitive. Then we had our youngest, Hunter, and he didn't miss a beat. On his days off, he did overnights with the baby and gave me a break. Not once did he complain. Many times, straight from an overnight shift at work, he would come and take care of him. He was a proud father. He never missed opportunities with his children. I must say, I was spoiled by this man. I never wanted or needed for anything, as he always made sure his family was good. He made sure to call or text his mom daily. He always made room for both of the women in his life. Garrett was a man who never let things get to him and always maintained a healthy perspective. He loved to joke and tell stories that took forever to get to the point. He could start a conversation with anyone, and in those moments, you will realize he was a great person. The mural downstairs captures how he lived so beautifully. Garrett's incredible sense of humor and easygoingness comes across in the image that thousands of customers will see each day. As a kid, he grew up in this neighborhood, and he worked out for his majority of his transit career. This is the part of the city that he knew best and that knew him best. We are so grateful that people from the neighborhood will be able to see him for generations to come. It means so much to know that his legacy will not be forgotten. Thank you to BX Fox for this beautiful piece of art. You captured him perfectly. Thank you, Andrew and Sarah, for helping making this happen. Lastly, to my Papa Bear, you are missed and you are loved. I know you are proud. Keep on shining.
Everybody, thank you so much.
You want to go downstairs?
Downstairs, we're going to unveil the mural. Unveiling across the street right now. They're coming down now.
I know what stop I gotta get off at, right?
There's a Portobello across the street from the Portobello. I'm on Flatbush and Nostrand.
I will text you back. Thank you. Everything's at home. So we're gonna work on that.